He is an agronomous engineer specialized in sanitary engineering, and he masters in the production engineering in COPE, UFRJ. He's a researcher in the Center of Studies of the Working Person and Human Ecology until 1988. He left Fiocruz and went to Anvisa since 1999 to become the general manager of toxicology in Anvisa. And I would like to, you have 15 minutes. Good morning to all. I would like to thank the coordination of the event and the invitation to Anvisa. I'm representing our director of Anvisa and José Alves, who is our supervisor in the toxicological event. This is being a very challenging seminary, because especially for us, because we're very far from this regulating systems. And I would like to also thank William for calling us. We have known each other for years, and it is always very good to meet again in these events. Anvisa is a regulatory agency that was created, and it follows the federal constitution, and it also had an object, the goal of make all the regulate all the systems, and also to promote health, public health. And Anvisa was created in 1999. It is relatively recent, and with this goal, it develops its work. It's important to say here that Anvisa still doesn't have regulatory marks for nanotechnology, but it has been approving some products with this finality. So it is interesting because in the state structure you can liberate or authorize products, and a regulatory organ, if it approves a product, it puts all its technical area facing a decision that if something bad happens, it will be the institution's a problem. So this, as there is an increase in the velocity of these new products, we have to also see this again. And any regulatory organ has to always be not in the state of the art, because it's never there, but at least in the state of technique. So if a group comes and shows us a product and we believe in it, you have to believe it, but you have to also accreditate it. But it's as if putting in the challenges, comparing the biotechnological issue. There have been some advances, but all the work that Anvisa makes, it is via a managing contract with the health ministry. It is a complex institution. It is important to understand that when we have a determined problem or a new nanotechnology, we have 1,500 workers, and they work with all the regulation, agrotoxics. We have services, health services with medication, laboratories of public health, and private laboratories that are also surveilled. We have surveillance of the post-use of these medications, and to see airports and frontiers that today mobilizes and controls the entrance of illnesses, diseases, and all the international conventions in the Mercosur in which we participate to discuss interests of our country, and the coordination of the national system of surveillance, sanitary surveillance. And Brazil has 5,500 municipalities, so there is complexity in the structure in which this institute works. In the case with nanotechnology products, they go into various stages. So we see food, medication, cosmetics, in talking about products and not talking about laboratories. They are going in through this general management that are part of the institution. Here, just for you to see the size of what has been regulated: 80,000 pharmacies, 450 medicine industries, 3,045 cosmetics, health, laboratories, clinical analysis, and everything has to be inspected of the services and products that are available in the market. So going into this regulatory question, when Anvisa was created, there were some critics about this excitement, regulatory excitement. Everything had to be regulated. Then they worked with, they established a guideline of practices, regulatorily practices. So they talked about transparency, and with a nothing. We still don't have what gives us the sign are the sectors. The analysis of sanitation and the consolidation and revision of the legal sanitary issues and qualification of the regulatory acting. And we have to improve our mechanisms for the public consultation, and also public auditions in my area where we reassess agrotoxics. You have to see this in media. Sometimes there is the public debate that is very intense. The contributions for the public consultation are very important, and I think that what was said here before is important. That there is a sector that is important with toxicologies that who authorizes and who gives the number and who is responsible for these products has to have authority on this. Sanitary security, we want to improve the system. And this program, I didn't see any of the presentations talking about the ProReg, that is a program of regulation of the civil house, and it aligns the policies of the governments, and it talks about the quality of this regulatory mark. This was said here, so the civil house that is responsible for all these processes, it has this program, and Anvisa was chosen as who should do the regulatory impact in the analysis systems. So there you find a space in which you will be able to work and discuss this issue. If Anvisa discusses these regulations, it has to be based on a law. If it is not based on a law, it can be questioned. So sometimes you cannot do something if you don't have legislation that regulates and organizes this. So agrotoxics have a legislation. Agrotoxics also has, but you have to have a policy to control and approve and analyze that kind of product. If we don't have this, this discussion will have a problem. This is very important that the deputy is here for us to see the law for this. According to the medication, they have used a mini guide and the studies that have been asked for, they are about synetics and chemical assays. Here we have two products that are already authorized and equipment for health. They have spoken about autoclaves and nanosensors, portable nanosensors to detect toxins in chemicals. We have had orthopedic and prostheses, externals and internals, odontologicals that are registered in the country. In the cosmetic area, we have some examples that are anti-wrinkles, anti-signals, and we have these products that are in the market already that have obeyed the legislation that we have with the requirements for this activity. According to food, there are some, we still don't, we haven't identified food that has been approved with this finality. We talk about packaging food, and the FAO guide has been used. We have seen a law project that talks about publicity of food. The AGMs also follow this line. This is part of the story, because the legislation has to also be made. In the agrotoxic area, we have finished the revision of the third article, that classifies the products, but we weren't able to incorporate anything yet. It's going to go into public consultation, and this would be important to identify something that could be incorporated in this part of the assessment. We know that there are some authorized products, but none of them was still registered in Brazil. The challenges, new competencies in the national politic for the exercise, for regulatory mark, according to research, assessment, production, storage. There is a proposal in the Congress that talks about commissions. In the case of the OGMs, after the biosecurity law was approved, Anvisa made an assessment of studies and legislation for transgenic plants, and so it was passed for a commission. It is very important to see if you want to place this in a state structure or in commissions, because in a counseling. So we have to see who's going to assess this. We don't know if Anvisa, who registers them but doesn't assess them, it has to answer with issues that end up in a public debate. So much was said. For what is serves nanotechnology, what is it going to bring as improvements in the quality of life and in the environment? Ellen yesterday explained this very clearly. She brought all these aspects. So we want to know to where we are going with this question. So Anvisa assesses these products in general. In the case of the transgenic, they go through another path. So we have to see who is going to approve these products with this kind of technology, so that we do not use the possibility of better development and benefit for society with a risk reduction. We're calling the attention for what we have already lived here in the country. With the regulatory agencies, they assess agriculture and the environment. There is a clear responsibility with these organs to what is going to happen with that product, if it is harmful for the environment and if it is aggressive for human health. So all this has to be documented. There are a series of aspects that have to be considered in the debate. It is an important discussion. We have to take this to the National Congress, and we have to also take them to seminars and forums, as we are seeing this here, to be able to bring biotechnology and to make society understand that they are adding value without risks. If we talk about the transgenics today, there is trust in the society and trust in this, and the security is given because of the regulatory mark or the form that was incorporated and assessed and surveilled these transgenics. We have talked about these others. This is the building of Anvisa. We have our addresses here. We have our call centers also, and we have the general administrations which coordinate the intoxication cases. This presentation is available, and whoever wants to have more information, you can talk to me. Thank you very much.